Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Hi there. So I'm so excited. If you're new around here, I am Hillary Buchholz, and I am here with Patty Quinn, and we are
Hello.
the co-founders of We Heart Hounds, and we have some amazing special guests with us here today.
We do. I'm super excited to have them here with us. Just an honor and a pleasure, truly. We have René Agredano and Jim Nelson of Tripawds. They are the founders of an organization that has built this amazing community for three-legged pups and their people, and we're just so happy to have them here with us today. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having us. It's great.
It's our honor. Thank
you.
Yeah. So I love what you guys have created, like this amazing safe space that people can come and kind of share their own experiences if they're, scared or need support that you've created. Can you tell us how you guys got that started?
Sure. First of all, thank you for saying that, because the safe space is our goal. That's what community means to us. And it's a place where people facing amputation for their cats or dogs and cats can come and engage with each other and learn from each other. But how did it all begin, René?
Well, we were actually looking for a safe space to talk about our own dog's amputation, because when we found out he had bone cancer and that the only way to really help him get rid of the pain was to amputate his leg, we were like, oh my God, this is crazy. How
this was 2006.
Dog on three legs. We had never seen a three-legged dog, not even on the internet. And, it was 2006. So the internet was still a baby. And so we started this little blog to document our situation. And we decided that amputation was the route we were going to take. But we needed a place to vent and to talk about our emotions about it. And most importantly, to share and celebrate Jerry's progress on three legs.
And share our story. Long story short, when this happened, we were at a stage in our life where René decided, well, Jerry's given a few months to live, and we're at a place in our business we need to kind of move on. We sold everything. We sold our house, our business, and we bought an RV to spend that last time together with Jerry traveling the country. But he ended up living 2 years. So that whole time was just, starting a little blog and sharing his story and sharing videos of him at Devil's Tower and then the coast of Maine. But then people started asking us lots of questions about different kinds of dogs and different kinds of cancers. So I installed discussion forums, and that's when the site really took off, because people could start sharing their stories with each other.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I mean, this whole journey of yours even turned into a book, right? About Jerry. So kind of maybe you could tell, there you go. Be more dog. Go out and get it. Please tell. I mean, this is honestly not that I would ever wish, one of our dog, anything horrible to happen, and any of our dogs, but to make, I think the wish part is to have that decision, the guts to just stop what you're doing, focus all of your energy on the ones that you love, and your four-legged furry best friend, right, is at the heart of that. And then just do what makes you happy. That's just an amazing story. And I'd love for you to share that with everybody so I can live vicariously through your adventure right now. Cause I would love to be able to do that. I mean, I just think that's, good, bad, or indifferent. That's just the way to live life. Right. So
it is, and it was a bittersweet journey indeed, but Be More Dog, Learning to Live in the Now, took us 10 plus years to write.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It was a long time coming. When we started, when we decided to take a year off and travel with Jerry, it was because, the vets thought, oh, he's going to have 6 to 8 and then the pain from cancer, metastasis usually happens and it comes back in the lungs and we'll have to say goodbye. And we thought, well, if his time is so limited, we were at this point in our life where we were at a crossroads. We wanted to do something different for work, and we wanted to look at other places to live. So everything just kind of aligned. And I said, what would be the best gift for Jerry right now? Jerry loved to travel. He loved meeting people. We loved the outdoors. He did too. And I'm like, well, let's get an RV and just travel around with him for as long as we can. We'll save, we'll make sure we have enough money saved up for a year, and we'll sell everything to do that.
This was going to be a year
So-
sabbatical. We planned for a year off because we didn't honestly think Jerry would live past that.
Right,
And we
right.
went out across the country looking for our next place to quote unquote settle down. But Jerry kept on beating the odds, and we have all sorts of adventures we
Yeah.
share, but more importantly, lessons he taught us along the way, you know,
Oh,
things like
yeah.
resilience and awareness and acceptance and perseverance. There's, you know,
Mhm.
tales of him doing incredible things on 3 legs and beating the odds.
That's
and
amazing.
Jerry is like all animals. He was like, he was so resilient when he bounced back from the amputation that we wanted to be able to share that experience with others, especially if they're just in the
Yeah.
same shoes that we were in
Yeah.
back then.
Give people
to give
hope.
them hope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was one of the goals of the Tripawds community too. And it started getting busier as we were on the road. We started getting more emails from people, and then Jim put the discussion forums in, and everything kind of took off. But it was a really great place to share Jerry's travels and just little tiny bits of blogs here and there. There was no Instagram or even Facebook back then.
Right.
So
right,
we were
right.
really focused on just having fun. And occasionally we would throw a blog post up there to show that Jerry had made it to Devil's Tower or the Atlantic Ocean. That was our big goal, to get him to swim in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool being able to do that. And we never thought a book would come out of the whole journey with him. And it wasn't until 2 years later, was it 2 years later? We were in a PBS documentary called Why We Love Cats and Dogs. And we were the crazy dog people, and Jerry was still with us at the time they were filming. So they chronicled us at the oncology clinic, because
Okay.
when Jerry's Mets came back, we were like, what do we do? And so we went to a consultation at an oncology clinic. They followed us there. And this documentary, long story short, this documentary came out about
PBS 2009.
Yeah, about 6 months after
Yeah.
Jerry passed. And an agent contacted us, a literary agent. And she's like, you have a great story to tell. And we're like, a book?
Oh, sure.
What?
Write a proposal and draft a chapter. And
Yeah, and we went through the hard work of putting together a proposal for the agent to shop around, but it didn't sell.
at the time, the
Okay.
market was totally saturated with Marley and Me and a bunch of books. And
Oh,
because
right.
ours didn't take off immediately,
Right.
she dropped the ball, and we had, you know, kind of the workings of this tome that we kept kind of picking away at, because we needed to keep making money at the time. You know, there was no
Right.
big publisher throwing us a forward of any sort. So,
Right.
and we also didn't want to charge people for the information at Tripawds. So we developed a freemium business model, and we offer tons of free resources. And for a slight premium fee, you could get an ebook that answers all your questions fast. Or
Okay.
we now host 1,500 blogs, and you can have a free blog for your
Oh,
three-legged
wow.
dog or cat.
Yeah.
And for a little bit of money each year, you can have no ads on that blog and additional services. So
right.
as the business grew, the expenses grew even more, because we're hosting 1,500 blogs and discussion forum and live chat. And so we in 2014 we created the Tripawds Foundation at tripawds.org, which keeps all those free resources available to the public at no cost. And now we're offering assistance programs to help with rehab, help pay for surgery for those who can't afford it, and a toll-free helpline that people can call and speak to others who have been through it.
And it's all made possible by donations. So
Yeah.
that's how we do it.
So the book kind of covers our growth of the Tripawds community, the foundation, the business side of things, and interwoven in there is all these lessons Jerry taught us when he, you know, swam in the Gulf and, you know, went up to the peaks of Colorado with us.
Yeah.
So it's a journey, and it's not just, you know, what I did on my trip with my three-legged dog. It's more of a kind of a lessons to learn, lessons to live by.
Yeah, no, and I can absolutely see that. My husband and I had a dog last year that we lost from cancer. And she underwent. Yeah, no, honestly, it was a blessing having her in our life. And she was we've had a number of dogs as a couple, and there are our kids, our family. Out of any of them, she absolutely taught us, I think, the most. in terms of resilience. And she was the happiest dog we had, and she underwent 8 months of chemo.
Oh.
So like, obviously there were good days and bad days, but she really taught us that there is joy in the littlest things in every day. You can find it everywhere you look. You just have to keep your eyes open for it. And I mean, we only had her a short time. She was pretty young when she died. She was about 5.5, and we got her from a shelter when she was 4. So had this envision of, 10 plus years with her, right? Like this big, long vision. And then unfortunately that time was cut short, but I wouldn't trade a moment of it. Right. I mean, it just was just a wonderful experience, a joyful experience, even as through all the hardships and everything, but just the beauty and the joy that she brought into our lives and taught us to kind of carry on. And we now have a tiny little pup. She's kind of curled up in my blankie here, right under here.
Nice.
So, we still have 4-legged fur flying through the house, which, always brings music to our hearts. And, we always will carry Clover in our hearts with us wherever we go, but she's definitely, it's just something about dogs that teaches you life lessons that we as adults, especially maybe not as children, but as adults kind of easily forget, right? We kind of take it for granted and just kind of think that those things are always going to be there. But I think this is a magical, amazing ability about dogs that go through challenges where we would probably just collapse and curl up in a ball and just, want mom to like take care of everything.
Absolutely.
And dogs are just so full of life. And it's just so great that you were able to share your experience and then have that kind of ripple effect blossom into this amazing community and now the foundation and all this other wonderful stuff. That's really, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the community, because as you're going through these hardships, to be able to, you're trying to take the best out of the situation that you're in, but sometimes you need that little bit of hope, or you need to hear what somebody else is going through to kind of give yourself perspective. So I really think that community is, life-changing for people, just to kind of have that support that you need when you're going through difficult times.
It is, because connecting with others is going to be the greatest medicine to help you through any sort of tragedy. And anyone with a tripod will tell you that going through the amputation journey with others and others who have done it, you create such a bond with those complete strangers that we've had groups of people that have been meeting annually and now, socially distanced and still meeting together across the country. In Virginia, a few years ago, we had 30 plus people show up with their 3-legged dogs, and people came from England and Germany and all over the country.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we have had members pitch in and purchase an air conditioner for another member they had never met because they lived in a hot area and couldn't afford it. So it's really the community and coming back to that safe space we talked about, because Facebook is wonderful and you can really get lots of engagement with fellow people, but you get like lots of likes and hugs. And when you get off in a particular niche community where others who have been through the same sort of tragedy, there's a bond that develops that is just really heartwarming every time we see examples of it.
What was the first thing that surprised you about this community that you built? Because obviously you were starting with just kind of having a place to share or get your feelings out, right? You were sharing it with the world, but initially it was just, you're dealing with all this stuff, as kind of therapy, right? Just getting it out there for yourself, just to kind of work yourself through it. What was the first surprise in the community aspect for you personally when you first started?
Well, I think when I realized that there were all of these friendships forming offline, away from Tripawds. So our discussion forums are the heart of the community, and we see tons of conversations happening there all the time. The moment that I realized, look, so-and-so and so-and-so are hanging out. And this was even like, before they were connected on Facebook, we would just hear stories like so-and-so got together with so-and-so. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. We had no idea. And it was only a matter of time before Tripawds wasn't so much about Jerry, but about the community. And I think, it was like, it was a process in realizing that this is where it's headed. And it was so cool because all of these people were connecting and creating these friendships. And now people whose dogs have passed years ago, they're still friends. They still get together when they can.
That's great.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing.
The greatest sense of like accomplishment and acknowledgement that surprised me was when we started hearing people saying, my vet told me to contact you. My vet said go to Tripawds because they have resources. And that's when around the time the foundation became available. So we have free pet amputation brochures for vet clinics. All you got to do is request them for your vet, and then they can, people are given a diagnosis, their dog is sent home with a huge scar or a bandage and a bag of medicine, and they're lost. And they hand them this brochure, and they have a place to turn to see success stories and the sad stories, because you really need to be prepared for those things.
Right. Oh, I didn't know that. In fact, I'd love to let our vet know about that.
Certainly.
I think that would be great. Yeah. So where do you get the brochure? Or is there a link on the website?
There certainly is. So tripawds.com is where we have all our free resources and discussion forums and chat and such, but tripawds.org, specifically tripawds.org/outreach. Anyone listening can, request a set of free brochures, just put in your vet's address, ideally ask them to see if they want them, but we send along a letter about what these are and request free, more free anytime. And we'll send brochures off to your vet. It's tripawds.org/outreach. Or just go to Tripawds.org and find out about all the assistance programs.
That's great. Everybody listening, if in case you don't have a tripod dog yourself, right, and you want to help with this community and you don't have funds right now or whatever, I think this is just getting the word out, right? So contact your vet, see if they'd like the brochures and additional information to hand out to their patient or their clients and patients. And then by all means, go to the outreach and get all of them and get them sent to your vet right away. I think that would be a fantastic and easy thing, right? That we all can help with.
It is. And these aren't marketing materials. Let them know these are client education materials, just like you go in the vet and see the rack full of things with skin conditions and ear mites. And now there's one we have available for amputation.
Yeah, it was approved by a vet. So we feel really good sending those out.
Wonderful.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And we do have a couple of comments that came in here. So Nancy DeLong, she says, incredible book.
Oh my God.
Hi, Nancy.
A member of our community, Tripod.
Yay, we love you, Nancy.
Yeah, she definitely is. Jim and Renee are truly amazing people. Tripawds, Canine Cancer, not a club you would wish for anyone, but I'm grateful to have people like this in my corner, even though that chapter is closed. Gives me the tenacity to want to support this all the more for others who give them tools and educations and knowledge that they can still have love and joy and happiness even when it seems so dark. So
that's
thank you so much,
Nancy.
That right there is what makes our lives worthwhile. All the work we do and all the efforts we put out there, it's comments like those and the community really that makes Tripawds what it is. It's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, and then Kathy Mendel is another supporter of Tripawds and a parent of a three-legged friend for the past.
Hi, Kathy.
So yeah.
Sorry, Hillary, didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. Go ahead and read her comment one more time.
Okay. She says, proud supporter of Tripawds and a parent of a three-legged friend for the past 8 years.
Yay.
Oh, thank you.
Yay. Well, and congratulations. 8 years is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just... We just want that number to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. We always say that Tripawds is the club that nobody wants to join. But when they do, they join for all sorts of reasons. It's mostly cancer, but we have members who join because their dog or their cat was in an accident. Or they were born with some type of abnormality, and we welcome
shot or kicked by a horse or fell out of a car. There's so many different stories, and that's the great thing about the community. It's not just Jerry with osteosarcoma on a shepherd dog. We have Great Danes, blind Great Danes with osteosarcoma, pugs with massive and everything. And cats.
And it's really good for people to connect with other breed types that are similar to their own pet, because each type handles it a little differently. So a Great Dane is going to handle amputation recovery much different than a pit, or
Right.
a shepherd. And later on in life, their mobility will be challenged a little differently too. So that's why we really love connecting people with one another.
And we
That's
had
fantastic.
just, one story, one type of dog, one type of cancer. So,
Mhm.
1,500 blogs now and thousands of discussion forum topics where people are sharing their own things that allows
Yep.
them to engage in the community.
Wow. It's amazing. You've created another child, right? Another extension of your family that is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger
Yeah.
and growing with all the love and everything that everybody has to share. So for anybody, again, that might not be a Tripawd member yet, have a Tripawd dog at home, how can they support, or can you tell us a little bit more about the foundation and that kind of aspect of your community and the things that you've built?
Sure. Well, our foundation has a few programs, and one of our biggest ones is the Amputation Surgery and Assistance Program.
ASAP.
We call that the ASAP program, and
Love
that
it.
will thanks. That will chip in $500 towards the cost of surgery for a financially distressed family that cannot afford amputation. So
Okay.
we're trying to get that number raised and
Mhm.
and chip in more money, because we know $500 barely covers medications. But
Right.
anyhow, we love donations for that program, and
We have a rehab program. So
that's our
that one's
biggest
income
program.
qualified, but the rehab program, anyone with a 3-legged animal, dog or cat, if they take their Tripawd to a certified rehab therapist, which we didn't even know exist years ago,
Yeah.
but a certified rehab therapist can give them specific exercises and nutrition
Okay.
tips to keep them fit and strong. And we will cover the cost of that first visit, up to $200. They're usually
Wow.
around $150. And
Wow.
that's
For anybody.
anyone
Yeah.
who goes with a 3-legged animal, if they see a certified practitioner. And then we have the toll-free helpline, like we mentioned, and we're reworking a rescue fund. We have some big news coming about that next year.
Mhm.
And all of these are, tax deductible 501c3
Yep.
donation supported at tripawds.org/give. And anyone who submits any amount, we have the Tripawds honor roll, and those are tributes that people can send in a photo and an essay or a few words, and they will get up on the honor roll that will be there forever. Oftentimes we have people donating on others' behalf. So their friend has just recently, someone's friend had a 3-legged dog who passed away, and gave a rather generous donation and said, this is for them in honor of their dog.
Yeah.
We found a photo of that and put it up on the wall.
Wonderful. And if anybody needs any links, we will have them in this
Thank you.
post. So so you don't have to quickly jot everything down. But yeah, I think that's fantastic. I love that.
The biggest thing the Tripawds Foundation does is maintain the community. They cover the hosting costs for the 1,500 blogs, the discussion forums, the live chat, the video interviews that René and I produce, the Tripod Talk Radio podcast. There's so many resources that the one complaint we tend to get is, where do I begin? And tripawds.com/start is an overview of everything. And that will tell you about the foundation and the resources and the programs and the ebooks and the book.
Hold it up again one more time.
Oh, René hates it when I do this.
No, that's okay. Be more dog. Yes. No, we want to provide that information to people. It's really valuable. It's really important. We need to get it out there. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. I think that's great.
And another way that people can help kind of support what you're doing is also by shopping at your store as well. So obviously you have the book there, but you have all kinds of other kind of fun and creative items that are in your store as well. If you want to give us a little insight on what they can get there.
Sure, thank you. So Tripawds is a network of blogs, and one of those blogs is the Gear Shop, and that is gear.tripawds.com, where people can get assistive devices like harnesses and such. We found the best ones that work with 3-legged dogs, but they're, like the Rough Wear harness or the Easy Dog harness, they work with all dogs. So if you're looking for a harness and want to help a good cause, you can shop Tripawds. And then there's the Gifts Shop, which has all sorts of fun designs of 3-legged dogs and cats on
T-shirts,
apparel.
bumper stickers.
And then René is a metalsmith
Jewelry.
who makes
I make jewelry that I'm not wearing this morning. I'm so
Jewelry.
embarrassed. I got
Christmas is coming, everybody.
Yeah.
Jewelry. Get out there.
We will
Get out there and
she's
shop
modest.
for
She
Christmas.
customizes. metal stamp jewelry, matching pet tags, urn charms, things like that. All of this stuff I mentioned is at tripawds.com/store.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
that's fantastic. And I love that you can get something personalized. Obviously something that's has the heart of a tripod dog, in it, the Be More dog and all that. The 3 little paw prints that are on there, I just think it's so adorable. It's really precious. You could put it on a keychain. You could wear it as a necklace. You could, there's all kinds of really neat things that
wear it
you
as
can
a
do.
t-shirt.
There you go.
You can't see my
There you
t-shirt.
go.
Can you see your shirt? There you go.
There you go.
Nice.
Hashtag tripods.
One other excellent gift for anyone, if you know someone who's going through the amputation journey or about to, our first ebooks are kind of recovery and care handbooks for the pet owner, filled with information about what to expect, medication, rehab, and these ebooks, 3 Legs and a Spare and Loving Life on 3 Legs, are really informative. There's tons of information available at tripawds.com, but to save time spent searching for all that information, we've developed these ebooks for people who just want fast answers. So you could gift those to people as well.
That's wonderful.
Wonderful.
I mean, what a gift of the heart that would be for somebody, as a friend or a family member that's recently undergoing something like this. That's, you just don't know where to turn, especially if you don't know about tripods, that you guys exist, to be able to gift somebody that. I mean, I can't imagine the tears that would flow, right?
Yeah.
That would just be so beautiful. So beautiful. I mean, it would be something you guys would have wanted, right? When you first experienced it.
Yeah.
That's why we did it. And it's why we do what we do.
Yeah. No, I just think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Well, so for those that we've kind of covered folks that have beautiful, lovely 3-legged dogs, and we've kind of talked about how to support that family, that community. What would you say to somebody that wants to adopt a 3-legged dog? Like they're going to shelters and they see a 3-legged dog and they've never dealt with that situation. They don't know what to do, how to address it. What would you recommend they do?
I would recommend that they go to our website, because I have a 2-part article series about things to think about before you adopt a tripod.
Okay.
It's funny because tripods, people either love them and they go looking for them, or they want to cry when they see one. So for the people who want to adopt a tripod, we say, yes, that's awesome. But there are a lot of things to consider, mainly your lifestyle, what kind of pets, other pets are at home, what your house is like, where you live, what is your environment like? Do you have slippery floors or stairs? Those are 2 huge things that you need to consider when you bring a tripod into your life. So we have a really good article series about that. And I it's my wish that everybody reads that before adopting one, because a lot of times they come to us after the adoption.
Right.
So that's what I would say to them.
So there's a lot of rescues and even some vets out there that still say, let him be a dog, he'll be fine. Yeah. And in many, majority of cases, that's true. But life isn't worse, but it's different. So what we call it the new normal. It's adapting, dogs will go and go and go until they drop. So it's kind of our responsibility to be the best advocate we can for them. And once they've lost that spare leg, you really can't afford to lose another one, and they're more inclined to get damaged. So the biggest recommendation I would do would be suggest they get an evaluation from a rehab therapist to talk about weight management, the #1 issue in tripods, and exercises they can do at home to keep them fit and strong. Because walks alone don't develop the core strength and the proprioception necessary to keep a tripod fit and healthy.
Okay. And that's why you were talking about kind of that therapy. I can imagine water therapy would be good. Maybe. Yeah. There's like all kinds of things. That might be helpful. So looking into those types of things to help build those muscles that aren't necessarily used on a walk or whatever, that can, like you said, can help that core muscle. So they can support their, and balance their weight.
Exactly. And our foundation will pay for that first visit.
That's fantastic.
That's wonderful.
That's neat. All right. Well, we've learned a lot about all the wonderful things you're doing today. Where would you like folks to go? We've talked about a lot of different websites and a lot of different things. Go ahead. Come on, Jim. Come on. Show it again. Come on. You're teasing us. For anybody that's popped in here at the last minute.
People don't need to live in the now.
So bad.
all about living in the now and being present. That's available at bemoredog.net, where we're actually sharing videos and photos from those things a decade ago, those times with Jerry that we spent with him, excerpts from the book, forward by Mutt's creator Patrick McDonnell about living in the now.
I love that.
So everyone loves
one of my
Mutt's.
favorite. Yes, my favorite. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And then
why not brag about it? Come on, Renee. Why not brag about it? Here's your chance.
She hates it when I do.
No, it's fine.
She's modest, and that's fine. That's fine. But no, I think that's fantastic. So we've got tripawds.com. That'd be the first place to go to. bemoredog.net, right? Is that what you said? Yep. Okay. And then we've got links to the foundation and your store and some other good stuff. And I want to put a link into the one that you mentioned, the outtakes, or no, what did you say? Outreach.
So tripawds.org. It's there on the homepage.
Tripawds.org. Yeah, outreach. So, that's great. Because I definitely want to contact my vet, and they're a fantastic clinic, and I'm sure they'd be happy if they don't already have your information. I'm sure they'd be happy to have it. So
thank you.
Definitely want to share that. And we just got another comment in from Phoebe. She's one of our We Heart Hounds, We Heart Hounds members. Hi, Phoebe. Great information. Thank you for sharing your experience and advice. I've definitely learned a lot about tripod dogs. Thank you. So it really has been such a pleasure, such an honor to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
And now we get to do the fun part. We have a giveaway winner. So for all those folks that went out and shared the post about this interview before it took place, we did a random drawing, and we've picked Miracle Kelly to be the winner of the Be More Dog book. Yay! Hold up the book. Hold up what she's going to win. Yep, there she goes. Yep, there we go again. We're going to drive Renee crazy. In a good way. So congratulations. We'll contact you through direct message. And there's Patrick's Mutts. I love it. This is going to be fantastic. We'll get that out to you right away. So congratulations again, Miracle Kelly. You're the winner of the giveaway. And we're just so honored and delighted to have the two of you here. I mean, it's just such a pleasure. Really, everybody get out there, support what they're doing. There's lots of different ways to do it. Even just sharing the information with your friends and family is
the best
number
way.
one. Yeah.
Thank
Let
you.
people know.
It's been fun.
Yeah. Well, this has been great.
It's
Thank
amazing
you so
work
much
that you guys are doing. So thank you very
Oh,
much.
thanks for
You
having us. It's
too.
been
Keep
so
up the
fun.
great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thanks. You're now part of our We Heart Hounds family. So thank you for being there.
Love it.
Thanks everybody for being with us today. Thanks everybody for commenting and sharing. And if you have any questions, if you're watching on the replay, please put them down below wherever you're watching this, and we'll be sure to read them and get answers to anything that you have questions about.
Definitely.
So thanks again, everybody.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.